Well, yeah, when Dale and I took it, it was you get the results in the mail. And there was no difference between the pass and fail cards, so you get your result in the mail. And let me tell you, you've studied. If you've done it right, after 4 years of practice, you get all the referrals, you do all the stuff to apply just to be able to sit for the exam. You sit and you take the exam, and now you've got to wait for the results to come back. And what's worse is there's probably people that you know that have taken it, but because it's coming through snail mail, they get it on different days, and people be like, "I got my results.
So,
yeah, I passed."
True story. When I took mine, took it in the fall. I bought a study packet, started studying just methodically for a couple hours in the morning, July 1st, and just had my calendar of I'm going through these sections during this week, and I'm going to take a sample test, et cetera, et cetera. Had that rhythm. There's a guy I had met a year or two prior. Through some work experience, and he was at the same pace that I was in his engineering career. And so he and I were both taking the mechanical engineering exam in the fall of that year, and we both bought the same study program package. He was in South Dakota.
Yeah.
And so the weekend, like 2 weekends before the test, I went up to his place. We set aside a whole Saturday. He and I did a practice exam, timed, all that kind of stuff. Punchline of the story is because he was in South Dakota, he almost found out immediately if he passed.
Oh, that sucked.
Yeah. Thinking South Dakota's way behind.
Yeah.
And so in
well,
Iowa,
they only have like 10 letters to send out in South Dakota.
In Iowa, you take the test, and then you get the results, but then the board, the state board has to get the list of people that passed, and then they've got to vote on whether, and it's a formality, but I didn't find out. He found out within probably 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't find out until the middle of December.
Yeah.
My wife called. I was at work. Hey, the letter came.
Yeah.
And when I got home, I let it sit on the counter for a while, just staring at it.
Well,
because at that point in time, I still hadn't failed yet.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I was like, once I open it and see that I didn't pass it, then I passed through that.
At my firm, there was so much pressure on this exam, right? Because you could not stay at the design firm I was at unless you passed it. All right. And you only got if you'd fail it, well, this just didn't happen, right? In the Des Moines office of the firm I was at, no one had failed it. And the entire time that branch was open. And God, you just did not want to be the first person to let that happen to. And so, do you remember? Oh, you were at my wife's. My wife had a surprise party for me. Dale Drent was there. That dirtbag. He was okay. So she intercepts it. She sees it, and unlike Dale's wife, who calls him, she opens it and says, "Hey, he passed. That's awesome. Let's have a surprise party for him."
Sounds like Gina.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Right, let's have a surprise party for him. And she calls Dale. She calls all sorts of family, and
I forgot about that.
Right, and so we go. It was a weekend. We went to something else, and I'm just getting tense because other people are getting theirs, and I haven't gotten mine, and I'm like calling my wife at lunch every day. Hey, is my letter there yet? Right? Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked. And I was just like, so-and-so in the office be like, hey, I passed. And I was like, this isn't good. This isn't good.
The failed letters took longer.
Yeah, the failed letters. That's what I'm thinking. Yes. Yeah. I'm like, maybe the failed letters take longer. This would be terrible for me to not pass. So anyway, I walked through the front door of our house. Everyone's like, surprise. And I'm like, I'm literally looking at everybody. I look at Dale like, what? He's like, what?
The ultimate betrayal.
I'm like, well, first I didn't get what everybody was excited about. And then I'm like, no. And I look at my wife, I'm like, what? How long did you know? And how long did all these people know before me? Oh, man. Yeah, I was okay with it. I mean, it was fun, but man, that was tense.
Have you gotten over the betrayal?
No, I haven't. I'm still feeling it. It still feels right here. Still feels right here.
Fresh wound.
Right? Still fresh wound that you just opened up there, Dale, when you're talking about getting that letter. All right. So I'm over my trauma, sort of. I've been to therapy for it. I'm okay.